Right now, the blockbuster Twisters has taken the box office by storm. See what the First Warned Weather team had to say about the accuracy of the movie. Plus, we are 100 days away from the presidential election. We have the latest on the campaigns of Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. We begin with developing news as the Madison Police Department is investigating a death on the city's east side. After receiving a call, MPD says it responded to the 1400 block of South Thompson Drive, where an adult was found dead. Officers say the crime appears to be an isolated event with no threat to the community. MPD says officials will continue their investigation until further notice, and we will keep you updated both on air and online at channel3000.com. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office announcing Sunday deputies responded to an emergency airplane landing in a Hubbard farm field. After receiving reports of a plane that was flying low and sounded like it was having engine issues, the office says it sent a deputy to the area of Rash Hill Road and County Highway TW in the town of Hubbard. There, law enforcement located 2 airplanes in a farm field. The sheriff's office says the pilot of the disabled plane was on his way back to Georgia from the EAA Air Venture show in Oshkosh when he began losing power to his single-engine aircraft. The pilot made an emergency landing in the farm field because he could not make it to an airport. The second plane on scene was traveling with the first airplane and landed to check in on the struggling pilot. Fortunately, there were no injuries or property damage during the emergency landing. Staying in Dodge County, the sheriff's office says Sunday deputies responded to a single fatal crash in Trenton, killing one lone occupant of the vehicle. The sheriff's office says the crash occurred at County Highway A and U.S. Highway 151 when a southbound vehicle on U.S. 151 entered the median, vaulted over the northbound lane, and landed in the southbound lane of County A and struck a concrete barrier. The vehicle suffered extreme front-end damage, and the driver was pronounced dead at the scene by the Dodge County medical examiners. The office says the crash is under investigation. The name of the driver is being withheld pending family notification. Now let's get a look at your First Warned forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller, who is out on the weather patio. Blaze, a quiet night. How does it feel out there?
It's a bit humid outside as we did have some showers and even a few non-severe thunderstorms today. So that moisture is in the atmosphere, obviously, but we're not having any winds really move it anywhere. In fact, we've still got southerly winds only building upon the moisture as we go into our Sunday night. Looking ahead to Monday, we've got a chance for some severe weather, maybe 1 or 2 severe thunderstorms Monday. And there is all severe weather hazards possible, but the 2% tornado threat is really isolated to extreme southern parts of Rock County. However, everybody across the News 3 Now coverage area should have a way to not only receive alerts, but also have a safety plan in place, because we've already seen this year times when parts of our coverage area saw tornadoes, but we didn't have even a tornado threat that day. Tuesday's severe weather outlook is limited to southwestern portions of the state, but Tuesday we could skip the severe weather chance altogether because we may simply be too hot, whereas Monday we may skip all the severe weather threat altogether because we may be too cloudy. But as I just mentioned, wind and hail are going to be our greatest threats both days. Right now we are tracking just one lone shower there, beginning to exit our coverage area out, up north into Springwater, north and east of Watoma in Waushara County. That's going to continue to push its way off towards the northeast as we make our way further into your Sunday night. Still holding on to the mid-70s in spots across southern Wisconsin. That includes Dane County. So make sure that you have the AC going, or at the very least a fan. It's 77 right now in Sun Prairie as well as in McFarland. We're going to track out the severe weather threat and storms for your Monday and Tuesday in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, we'll see you then. And as he just mentioned, there are no twisters in the forecast right now. However, he did see some on the big screen. Our Braden Ross sat down with Blaze to sort out fact and fiction in the new blockbuster, Twisters. Take a look.
All right, we have our snacks. We are here for one thing only. Let's do it. So, thoughts?
Thoughts on Twisters. So, I'm going to be biased being a meteorologist, given that I was around when Twister, the iconic movie that it was, first came out.
In the original 1996 movie, you have a group of meteorologists working to improve tornado warning lead time.
Still, nobody knows how a tornado works.
2024's twisters, they're actually trying to stop them in their tracks.
What it was maybe getting at is what is the next step in severe weather? You know, we've got the better lead times now. So what's next? Obviously, who can control the weather is going to change the world.
You think you can disrupt a tornado?
I mean, that's the question, right? Is can you actually stop a tornado?
And in theory, and I'm going to be saying this a lot, in theory, probably.
The meteorologists in the film launch chemicals into the air to cause the tornado to dissipate.
That produces a lot of rain, which then produces a lot of cold air, which then, as they say in the movie, chokes the tornado, which is, in the science, what would kill a tornado. Tornadoes don't like cold air.
But trying to control the atmosphere is harder than Hollywood makes it look.
Our air is dictated by air above us and then around us. So if you have a tornado that's moving, and then you put rain-cooled air in front of it, it's moving with the tornado. You're not moving it into the environment where all the resources are instantaneously cut off.
Okay, so safe to say the main plot point is pretty unlikely. But what about the rest of the movie?
It does blur this line of, yeah, it's for Hollywood, but we got to be careful. They seek shelter underneath an overpass. Never go under an overpass. You're much safer to get out of your car and lie in a ditch. There's many points where, you know, they're getting very, very close to these tornadoes, if not in it, in just what looks to be a normal car, which you should never do. We've unfortunately lost some very experienced storm chasers to storm chasing. So again, even experienced meteorologists, experienced storm chasers, because these storms have a life of their own and can very quickly strengthen or weaken, it is always kind of a gamble.
This year, Wisconsin has seen 42 confirmed tornadoes. That's almost double the yearly average, and it makes 2024 the fourth most active tornado season in recorded Wisconsin history. But if you do see a tornado live and in person instead of on the big screen, just remember, Hollywood doesn't always get it right.
Go in it with maybe a grain of salt, and then, you know, hey, you can email your meteorologist. You can email myself, you can email Alex, Savannah, Kelly, Jacob, Buddy, and just ask us like, hey, I saw this in Twisters, I saw this in Twister, any weather-related thing, and just say, is this true?
Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
Braden and Blaze, thank you. Before the rain hit around our area earlier today, people took to the streets for the Mount Horeb Art Fair. Filled with some of the best artists from around the area, the art fair featured pieces from across southern Wisconsin. The event is one of the largest in Mount Horeb, and officials say it's really helpful for the city.
It's a huge boon to our local economy. The restaurants and the shops downtown really benefit from all of the extra traffic. We also drive a lot of heads into our local hotels, and so that's really important.
Art fair goers were able to partake in some live music and a silent auction as well. It's only been 1 week since the historic shakeup of campaign 2024, and what appeared like a possible route is now a race. Since Vice President Kamala Harris has seized the Democrat spotlight, she's received a tsunami of grassroots support and cash, 2/3 of it from first-time donors. At the same time, former President Donald Trump, who rallied supporters in Tennessee and Minnesota this weekend, is carving out new lines of attack in his reshaped campaign. CBS's Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
She's a radical left lunatic.
Former President Trump took aim at his presumed political opponents Saturday in front of a packed arena in St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Kamala Harris's deadly destruction of America's borders is completely and totally disqualifying for her to be president. She's evil.
It was a 180 from the calls for national unity by Trump after his attempted assassination just 2 weeks ago. At the same time, Trump's VP pick, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, is facing closer scrutiny following past comments including criticizing childless Americans in political leadership.
No, you should never say anything to hurt anybody's feelings, but when you look at all these interviews by J.D., he was talking about how the Democratic Party has abandoned the traditional family.
Potential Harris running mates slam the rhetoric and are punching back.
It's exactly why Donald Trump's attacks aren't going to work. I mean, 2 nights ago, he called her a bum. If he wants to see a bum, he ought to look in the mirror.
If he has laughed, it's at someone, not with someone. That is weird behavior.
As the vice president rallies support across the country, voter enthusiasm in both parties has skyrocketed.
We don't take anything for granted. That's why we're supporting Donald Trump as much as we are. This is a big push to get him across the finish line to save America.
I feel energized. I feel excited. I think we're going to do it. We beat Donald Trump the first time. I think we can do it a second time.
A new poll out today shows in the last week, Vice President Harris saw an 8% boost in favorability among Americans at 43%, compared to former President Trump, whose favorability dropped to 36%. CBS News has learned that President Biden plans to unveil his proposals to reform the U.S. Supreme Court during a speech tomorrow in Texas. That plan would include introducing term limits and a code of ethics, both of which would likely need congressional approval. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
And coming up next on News 3 Now at 10, Consumer Report shows us how we can save a few bucks when hitting the grocery store aisle. And Blaze is back with another check of your First One forecast when we return.
You'll be amazed at the before and after difference when you update that old bathtub with a beautiful new walk-in shower from Mad City Baths. Mad City is Wisconsin's trusted bathroom remodeler with installations in as little as 1 day. We're also your local provider for replacement windows and kitchen cabinet refacing. Plus, now we're ready to take your call during our triple savings sale. Save 3 ways. First, receive 50% off installation of a new bath or shower. Second, 24 months, no interest and no payment, senior military discounts. And third, call during this program and receive a free $50 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate, available now only from Mad City Baths. From Madison throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
Let's do this.
Introducing Chevy's best lineup of SUVs ever. The rugged, always-ready Trailblazer, the first ever Traverse Z71, and the Chevy Trax, starting at $21,495. When it's your time to shine, Chevy's got you.
Get 1.9% financing on select popular 2024 Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Joe Biden put Kamala Harris in charge of the border.
We have a secure border.
On Kamala's watch, illegal border crossings hit record highs. Criminal illegal aliens are murdering Americans. Cartels are poisoning kids. And illegals are receiving taxpayer benefits and putting more burdens on hardworking taxpayers.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris is dishonest and dangerous. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Sun Prairie Sweet Corn Festival runs August 14th through the 18th. The famous 80 tons of steamed corn, rolled in butter and lightly salted, is served Saturday and Sunday only. Visit sunprairiecornfest.com for complete details and hotel discounts.
You can visibly eliminate wrinkles and under eye bags in 10 minutes with results that last up to 10 hours without needles and without surgery. Plexiderm does it for only $14.95. Visit plexidermtrial.com.
It's time for the grooviest event of the summer. Feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, August 1st through the 11th.
You do your own stunts. Journey Smollett is all about the action. Want to do the stunts like Tom Cruise does? Yes. Plus the cast of All American.
The first time I touched the football was 2 weeks before the first episode.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
Many of us think of ourselves as savvy shoppers looking for ways to snag a bargain and get the best value for our money. But are we using all the tips and tricks that are out there? As Consumer Reports reveals, there's a simple but often overlooked tool that can help you save big bucks while shopping online and in stores.
Have you ever found yourself in a grocery store aisle wondering if that giant jar of pickles is a better deal than the smaller one? So how do you choose?
I don't really look at prices.
I just always buy the same size.
That's where unit pricing comes in. It can help you determine whether buying bigger or smaller, name brand or generic, is better.
Unit pricing isn't a new concept, but you'd be surprised how many consumers overlook this basic money-saving tool.
Here's how it works. The unit price is essentially just what it sounds like, the price per unit of an item, whether in ounces, pounds, or any other measurement, rather than the total cost. For example, here's the price for this bottle of ketchup. And this is the price you'd pay for a larger size. Comparing unit prices tells you which one is the better deal. Just be sure you're comparing, say, ounces to ounces. If you need help converting items to the same unit, you can search online for a unit pricing calculator to make it easier. Or,
if a unit price isn't listed, simply divide the cost of the item by the number of units.
keep in mind that paying a slightly higher unit price for a smaller size might sometimes be more economical if it's an item you don't use often and will end up throwing away.
Unit pricing helps you see beyond the price on the tag to know the actual cost of your purchases.
Bottom line, a little label and price tag sleuthing, along with some simple math, can really add up to give your household budget some much-needed relief. This is Marcy Whalen.
Most stores provide unit prices for much more than just groceries, including personal care items and household products. Now let's get a look at your first one forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, what should they expect?
Well, we are tracking the chance for maybe 1 or 2 severe thunderstorms as we kick off our next work week. The thing is, both days are conditional. So that means that the conditions have to be right for the severe weather to happen. A lot of us are underneath that marginal risk on Monday, and we do find all severe weather hazards possible both Monday and Tuesday. We also find that very small chance for a weak tornado, mainly across portions of the state line communities, really isolated to Rock County. But everybody should have a plan in place because we've seen earlier this year, we get tornadoes even when we don't have that explicit tornado outlook outlined by the Storm Prediction Center. So make sure you've downloaded our News 3 Now weather app, the news app, as well as that will push alerts to you directly to your mobile device so you can seek shelter if you need to. Tuesday's severe weather threat is limited to southwestern portions of the state. Both days, though, underneath a marginal risk. I would say strong winds and localized large hail are going to be our greatest threats, but both days are conditional, as I mentioned. The conditions on Monday is whether or not we clear out the cloud cover and dry out these rain showers by the time we go into at least the late morning. If we're holding on to the cloud cover and even a few rain showers as we go into the early afternoon, we can pretty much count out our chance for severe weather. Maybe not rain and thunderstorms into the afternoon, but we need to destabilize the atmosphere. And if we don't clear out that cloud cover, you're seeing it here as we go into that 5, 6, 7 o'clock time frame when we normally see severe weather happening. We're pretty much quiet across southern Wisconsin. So we need to clear out those clouds or at the very least dry out. So stay with News 3 Now. We'll keep you updated because that may or may not happen. And if it doesn't happen, we don't clear out, we'll probably not see severe weather on Monday. Tuesday's conditions are we may just be simply too hot. We'll take a look at how high we're expecting our temperatures to go here in just a moment. Beginning to see maybe a few rumbles of thunder left in extreme northeastern portions of Waushara County, but otherwise we're quiet. But we'll still keep a scattered thunderstorm threat, rain shower threat as we go throughout the rest of this evening as temperatures continue to sit in the 70s, if not near 80 in some spots. We're at 77 in McFarland as well as in Sun Prairie. The cloud cover, the southerly winds. It's going to be a humid night as we settle into the upper 60s. So make sure you have that AC on or at the very least a fan going to make sure that you're staying cool this evening. As I mentioned, Tuesday's conditions are we may simply be too hot, but we normally get thunderstorms and rain during the hot points of the year. Sometimes, though, it may be actually too hot. Warm air needs to rise, and if it's too hot above the atmosphere, the surface air doesn't rise with it. So we'll track to see if we simply just get too hot on Tuesday. We don't see any severe weather, any showers or thunderstorms. But make sure that you have a way to receive alerts both days just in case. Your Monday planner taking you from the morning hours into the evening. We are going to keep that scattered shower and thunderstorm threat, especially through the late morning. It's into the afternoon that we may see that become very scattered, if not isolated to just certain spots across southern Wisconsin. There is a look at your 7 and 10-day forecast. No alert days, but we are tracking not only that severe weather chance Monday and Tuesday, but then also that heat. Tuesday through at least that following weekend, and then maybe even into that following week as temperatures climb back out of the low 80s that following Monday into the upper 80s to low 90s that Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Andrew Bandstra joins us with sports after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Old windows? Compromise your home's comfort. Vinyl windows, a 1970s relic, aren't built for extreme weather. They warp and crack, becoming vulnerable to the elements. At Next Door and Window, we have the answer. Fiberglass. Our Ultrex fiberglass windows last up to 50 years, longer than any other window you can buy. And while other companies cut corners and never call you back, we've got your back. When you demand tomorrow's comfort, Next delivers. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
Join Dane Dances for their 25th anniversary celebration of free music and dancing. Every Friday in August, head to the Monona Terrace rooftop from 5:30 to 9:30. We kick off the evening at 5:30 with family dance music. Then starting at 6, the first of 2 bands will begin. You will be entertained throughout the night. No tickets are required. Food and cocktails are available for purchase. It's the 2024 Dane Dances, a season of celebration. Get up, get down, and get together.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it flex buy on a new Ford Explorer, Escape, or Edge and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $2,000 flex buy cash, only at your local Wisconsin Ford dealer.
It's their classic rock that brings audiences to their feet. It's Blue Oyster Cult, performing live Saturday, August 31st at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets on sale now through Ticketmaster. Over 5 decades of music, thrilling fans everywhere. It's Blue Oyster Cult, August 31st at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
Our country has taken a beating the last few years, but I know we can turn it around. It'll take a lot of hard work like these athletes put in. We need to get serious about our spending that has caused prices to skyrocket. We need to fix our health care and address the shortage of affordable housing. Also, we must close our border, stop the flow of fentanyl, and put Americans first. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. Let's get America winning gold again.
Get 20% off during Hy-Vee's frozen food sack sale. One day only, this Tuesday. That's right, get 20% off all frozen food you can fit in a sack. Get 20% off frozen meals, 20% off frozen pizzas, 20% off frozen breakfast, 20% off frozen treats. Get 20% off all frozen food you can fit in a sack. Don't miss the frozen food sack sale. One day only, this Tuesday. Only at Hy-Vee.
Sure, he comes with his baggage, but there's no questioning Ryan Braun is one of the best Brewers to ever do it. And today, the crew doubled down on that notion, inducting Braun as the 23rd member of their Walk of Fame. The franchise's all-time home run leader was a 6-time All-Star, the 2007 NL Rookie of the Year, and the 2011 NL MVP. He played his entire 14-year career with the crew, guiding them to 5 postseasons, and now is enshrined in his rightful place in Brewers history.
Feel an immense sense of gratitude and appreciation, incredibly humbled by this honor, and to have the opportunity to look around and see so many people that have been impactful not only in my baseball career but in my life. And it's really like an overwhelming emotional feeling. I feel more emotional and more reflective than I expected to be, but just so much fun to have an opportunity to celebrate everybody who's here.
And Braun's first pitch was just a little high and outside, but Jackson Chorio channeled his inner Braun. Bottom of the fifth, Crew leading 4-1, and see you later. A solo homer from the rookie, his 11th of the year, and it basically put this one to bed. But we're not done, because in the ninth, Devin Williams, the Brewers' all-star closer, making his first appearance of the season due to a back injury. He pitched a scoreless ninth. We show you this base hit, though, because it gave Xavier Edwards a cycle, the second time in Marlins history. One of the rarest feats in baseball, but the Brewers, they got what they really wanted, a 6-2 victory.
To be completely honest, I don't know if she had to truck her.
No,
it
I don't
seems as
think
if
so.
she was pulling away.
Yeah.
But maybe just the hockey player in her, the aggressiveness in her, she wanted to get one last hit in before she took it to the crib.
We were kind of talking about that earlier off air. Like, that's kind of some of the fun of the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about just winning your sport. It's doing it with all this pride for your country. And no matter what's in my way, I'm going to get it done. You saw some of that in basketball, certainly saw it in rugby. And it's kind of part of what makes the Olympics fun.
And then, just to touch on basketball real quick, Kevin Durant, LeBron James started out 17 for 18 from the field in the Olympics, which is like unheard of.
We're never going to see anybody quite like these two ever again, I don't think.
For sure. All right, well, sounds good, Andrew. A final check of your first one forecast is coming up when we return.
Drive into summer with a new Honda Accord Hybrid, CR-V Hybrid, or the all-new Civic Hybrid. Take a vacation, staycation, or just a weekend drive with the windows down. Whatever you do, make it epic with Honda. The 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. So act now. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
The Sun Prairie Sweet Corn Festival runs August 14th through the 18th. The famous 80 tons of steamed corn, rolled in butter and lightly salted, is served Saturday and Sunday only. Visit sunprairiecornfest.com for complete details and hotel discounts.
We went with the website nuts.com because nuts and dried fruit and pretzels and trail mix and gummies and chocolate and espresso beans and malted milk balls and crackers and popcorn and sesame sticks and veggie chips and energy squares and fudge and jelly beans and seeds and rock candy and saltwater taffy and dried berries and fruit leather and bars and jerky and a whole lot more .com was already taken. Get 20% off and free shipping on your first order at nuts.com. Yes, we have more than nuts, but still the website is just nuts.com.
Hanson's knows that your home is a place of comfort and protection. That's why our durable, energy-efficient, and weather-resistant windows, roofing, siding, and gutters, as well as our bathtubs and showers, are guaranteed. With 35 years' experience and thousands of five-star reviews, we're your trusted home improvement expert. Get 50% off installation or enjoy no interest, no payments for 1 year.
Call 1-800-HANSONS. Get it done.
Hi. Deprioritized. But it's a work call. Oh, a work call? Oh, deprioritized.
T-Mobile home internet relies on cell phone towers, so when their network gets busy,
not the fridge, come on.
You can be deprioritized.
It's too bad. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Forget T-Mobile cell phone internet. Get home internet that puts you first. Get Spectrum.
You'll soon vote on two misleading constitutional amendments. They're designed to trick voters into eliminating checks and balances in our government. It's a power grab to give the MAGA politicians in the legislature the sole power to distribute emergency funding. They gerrymander, deny elections, and push abortion bans. Don't give MAGA politicians the sole power. Vote no to questions 1 and 2.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Tailored for your news the way you want it. With a customizable home page and faster page loads. Download the Channel 3000 News app. Powered by News 3 Now. The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer. Only on News 3 Now.
So, Andrew, there's so many sports in the Olympics. I mean, you have the obvious ones like track and field, basketball. What's a sport that you enjoy watching that you typically wouldn't be able to see just flipping on the TV?
Yeah, I think swimming is a big one for me. Swimming's a lot of fun. I think you could probably find it other places, but I don't really watch it outside of the Olympics, and it always seems to deliver. We watched one earlier tonight. The U.S. didn't quite get the gold, but I think we'll see some more in the pool. We saw one yesterday.
It's gotten more popular, especially with UW's dominance, but I love watching volleyball.
Absolutely.
Blaze, quick check of the forecast before we head on out.
We are looking at maybe an isolated severe weather chance Monday and Tuesday. Both are conditional, so stay with News 3 now. We'll keep you updated if we do, in fact, see that severe weather.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and thank you for making it a great evening.